midnight headlight, blinding on a rainy night, speed train up ahead, slowing down and taking no time. I gotta keep it rolling. Those in the windshield wipers snapping out the tempo, playing perfect rhythm with the song on the radio. I gotta keep it rolling.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the Gig Economy Roundtable weekly show with this week's guest. If everybody missed last week, that was a lot of fun. And again, thank you to everybody who participated. But this week's guest, we got Kim Side Money Plans.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
We got Gig Work Mama. And we got Tom Kelly back from Rideshare podcast. Also, he's got the trucking podcast, a few podcasts, Tango 3 Media. I don't even know. Tom's got so many projects.
I've always got something going.
But yeah, that's right, guys. Tom's back. So I don't know. How's everybody been? Tom, how you been?
Crazy busy. And last 3 days I've done been out doing the Ubering thing. You know, and
That's been a minute.
yeah. It's been a couple of years since I've done it to any real degree. But the last few days I've been out pounding it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Awesome.
awesome.
It's amazing what's changed in a couple of years and how much is still the same.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Later,
The app pays differently. So in some markets it shows more detail like we've always asked for, but the pay ends up worse. So be careful what you wish for.
Yes.
And the customers have not changed. However, they do have a better understanding of what drivers go through. I've noticed that. The changes are weird, but it has not put more money in drivers' pockets. That's the biggest problem that I see.
That is true.
I mean, you could still go out and hustle, make your money, but nothing has changed the Uber pricing model or the Lyft pricing model to benefit.
It's like riding a bike all over again.
Right. Right. But it's like going back 20 years in time and being paid what you would back then when you ride the bike now.
There's that.
You just
Kim,
have
did you
wooden
see-
wheels.
Did you have any time to see the video I sent you?
No.
Okay, good.
Wait, which one? You sent me a couple this week.
No, I uploaded one to Drive, and I texted and I emailed.
No,
it to
I
you.
meant to look at it and I
Yeah,
didn't.
Good. Look after and let me know what you think.
And then there
Okay.
was
Oh, God, I'm
the
scared.
private. There was the private one that you're not supposed to talk about.
No, it's Kim. It's Kim in perfection Spanish, and it came out so well.
Oh yeah.
It's one of her videos from this week in perfection Spanish. You cannot, and she's up close to the camera too, so it's like amazing.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Because I don't know a lick of Spanish.
Well, now you do.
Yeah, exactly. Now you do.
10% of my writers, 10% of my writers this week have not spoken any English.
Isn't that maybe kind of normal for you though?
Yeah.
So it's Houston, man.
It's just weird.
Yeah. At least we have technology where you can just have Google Translate and talk into it.
Right.
That's true.
If you actually need to, if you need to have any more conversation
Right.
or
I just look
like,
at
hey,
it.
where's my tip? You could just have that pre-recorded.
I had to use Google Translate on a delivery. God, a couple of months ago. It was a handed to me customer and I needed a PIN and I couldn't communicate with this person on how to get me a PIN.
What language do they speak?
I don't remember, but I think it was Spanish. And I'm like, I don't know. She did the translating.
Portuguese.
And then I just
Wow.
spoke into Google Translate because I didn't know how to tell her to give me a PIN.
Wow.
Give me a pen.
Give me your PIN.
Yeah, how do you
Right, but
translate
see,
that?
then there's the translation issues too, that they omit some words that we don't. And so it might be like, give me your pen. Like you might be come across as threatening her.
Uh-huh.
That is
She's like,
true.
I'm not giving you my
Well,
pen.
The funny, not that this is funny because it's not, but it kind of is. It was a pregnancy test on top of everything else.
Oh.
I felt so bad.
Well, it wasn't. At least it wasn't the Plan A pill. I mean,
You mean Plan B pill?
yeah, Plan B pill.
I don't think
Whatever you kids are
Plan
calling
A.
it now. All right, now's a good time before it gets too crazy to say hi to the chat. So I'm gonna do that real quick. What's up, Traveler? Hey, Becky Harris. Hi, Thomas. How are you? Hey, Bubba Sue. What's going on? Gagan, how you doing? Tulsa Gator. Anthony, how are you? Christopher Taylor, thank you for the super sticker, bro. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Let's see what else we got going here. I see Kim. I see Gig Work Mama. Derek, how are you? Memberships. Hey, Chris, thank you. Always like to see that. So, Sheila, how are you? Donna, how are you? I don't know why I'm losing my place here. And Bud Soda, how are you? Looks like
But
I
Soda
caught
wants
up
to be a
quickly.
fifth wheel sometime.
Numero. What about no? Okay, I know that means number.
But then that would be number.
You guys, I mean, like, hold on. I just can't pass this opportunity up, especially because she hasn't seen it either. Let me see if I can just play a little clip of it because I was so impressed with how well it did.
Oh God.
Like, this is one of the
This is
best ones
scary.
I've seen.
She's like, hold on.
Oh, wait.
I'm like,
Oh, I don't know if I have it in here now because I upload. Oh wait, yeah, I do.
I think you
That's it,
sent it
though.
when I was like in the middle of a delivery and I just forgot to go back to it.
Yeah, so here, okay, so I'll just I'm going to jump a little bit into it for you guys just so you can see how well this is done because it really is awesome. Okay, here we go. And yes, it was worth it. So here, I'm going to share because I got to do it through a player.
So it's not like the old like karate movies where like my lips are moving and like
No. Watch, you're gonna be amazed. You all are gonna be amazed, man.
That's amazing.
Like I've done 2 of these so far and they've come out really good, but wait till you see this.
We can't hear it.
I hear it.
You
Can't hear it.
I can't fix that.
It does kind of mess it up a little bit. So, Steve, while you're queuing that up, so I showed this to multiple bilingual speakers, people whose first language was Spanish, and they thought it was amazing.
What?
Well, because it might look right to you and me, but somebody who English isn't their first language, it might just be butchered. It might look totally. And they were like, "No, that is perfect. That is perfect."
Oh yeah.
I could not believe that you were not fluent in Spanish. Couldn't believe
Right.
it.
I mean, and it is about that. Nobody wants to watch. There's been AI out forever that allows the translation, but doesn't move the mouth movements.
Right.
Yeah.
So that to me, that's not even AI. That's just translating. And there's even been voice matching to a degree, but this voice matching is amazing. And the fact that it makes your mouth move to one of 50 languages fluently is pretty amazing.
Thomas wants to know, what app are you using?
So it's Thomas, it's called hold on. It's called Heygen, like Heygen. And yeah, Kim will do something with it. I'm guaranteeing you guys. It's her 5 minute. It was a 5 minute 40-second video from this week, I believe, because it was like 3 days ago or something, 4 days ago. So whichever one that was had like so I just picked one that looked like it was kind of new, and it was up close too. So I was like, I want to see if it can do it like this good. And now you're going to be impressed. Like I would say, like throw that up. If not, I mean, throw it up on your YouTube, but throw it up on your TikTok. See what happens.
Yeah.
I had an explosion with mine when I put the title in Spanish, and it was just a re-rendered 13 I had done, but in Spanish. I don't know. It's pretty amazing. It is the mouth movements, so people don't want to watch People don't want to watch. They don't want to watch me speaking Spanish if my mouth isn't moving to it.
No.
That's where you
Not at
lose the
all.
appeal completely. But if the mouth is moving fluently, yeah, like Tom said, you honestly wouldn't even know. Because honestly, I've showed it to people I know who know I don't know Spanish.
Yeah.
They've been like, "That's amazing."
Yeah.
Wow.
And like I'm like the AI, and like I mean, like I'm talking about like half the people. Like, I didn't, maybe I haven't like talked to them about Spanish in a while, but they're like, "You know that real." Because they're so blown away by the voice matching too.
Yeah.
I mean, the
I'll
voice
look
matching,
into
it's
that.
kind of, Tom and I were talking about, I think all of us have talked about this. It's kind of scary, to be honest.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it's scary because now I saw in the Hey Gen 2 that now it has a thing that I did not see when I was playing with it 2 weeks ago that said live stream translate. That's scary.
Wow.
It said it has a 3-second delay or something, but that it's then transmits in real time.
Really?
Wow.
So I could
mean,
be like addressing different countries in their language in real time.
That's actually pretty cool because you could create a whole new channel.
Well, it's
with
it's
a
scary.
language on it.
I keep going back to it's now. I've been playing with it, so of course I'm loving it. But it's scary though. Hey, what's up, Brandon?
And for those of you who speak Arabic, I just want to say,
In there, you can do Arabic.
Mhm.
I mean, you can do a lot of things. So, and I mean, it's you got to spend a little money to play with it. I just kind of dropped down a little bit just to play a little bit. So I'm just playing with like very small pieces, but
It's a tax write-off.
yeah, sure.
Everything's a tax write-off.
I know, but my miles with last mile do me so well. But anyway, Kim, I'm hoping will drop that. Because she's gonna love it, and it's so fluent. I mean, you can just put a Spanish title on it. Again, you're not gonna do it with every one.
They're gonna give me a Spanish title too.
Just go to Google Translate, type in the title of that video, and just have them spit out the translation.
Got it.
Yeah, you just gotta watch out with
It's
Google
easy.
Translate because I know I've seen a lot of Google Translate for French, and I'm like, that makes no sense.
Right.
Like none.
Well, the easy way to see if they omitted words is to do auto detect to Spanish, if that's what she's doing.
Yeah.
Copy the Spanish, do auto detect to English,
To see if it makes sense.
and see if it comes back in the exact words.
Cheyenne, do you speak fluent French?
Oh yeah, 100%. I only went to French school
Really?
all the way up to university. Only French school.
That's amazing.
Right. So, okay, example, and then we'll move into some of these topics. So, like, example, if Cheyenne and I did a live, if she spoke English through the whole thing, I could then translate it to French, and we would both speak French perfectly in our voices, even though she already knows French.
Yeah.
Like, that's how Luis does it when he was like, remember the one he did with David that turned me onto this whole thing with Para? You know, was he had to speak in English. David spoke in English. And I was like, David, how do you know Spanish so well? He's like, I don't know any Spanish at all. It's a scary app, you guys, but it is fun. So go check it out.
Well,
Yeah,
Cheyenne
that's
could be
pretty scary.
cursing us out the whole entire show just by speaking French, and we would actually never know.
You would never know. You would
Maybe.
never.
Until we put the translator app, we're like, oh,
Like, oh my
man,
gosh, that's what she's been saying. It's so funny.
So,
Oh, man.
I guess I was reading this at first that it was 1 year, and it has been 2. And I was like, that makes more sense. So Amazon and GrubHub got together, you know, like a little bit of a love child, I guess, because they had the 2% stake in Just Eat, which owns GrubHub, which was all they got for the work they've been doing over the last 2 years with Amazon. But it was a year-to-year thing. I remember that we were doing this roundtable when the first time it dropped and this partnership started. That's how long we've been doing it. And then the year passed. They re-upped the contract, and now they've re-upped it, and it's going to be on directly through the Amazon app now, though. Now through your Amazon app, you can just use GrubHub. You can use GrubHub before too, and you got all the deals or whatever. But also here's one thing that they're doing. So okay, so you can get a 12-month free GrubHub Plus subscription, which is called a $9.99 value. I guess that's all it is for a year. I'm not really sure. So now the company is turning to Amazon, turning the ongoing offers for all Amazon Prime customers through desktop, through app, which comes with $0 delivery fees, 5% back on pickups, and lower service fees and more ordered restaurant prices. And all I can take away from that is across the board, they're going to be the more affordable app than DoorDash and Uber Eats now.
But we have to go through the Amazon app to order
or GrubHub.
GrubHub.
Or GrubHub, either one.
Oh, okay. Because whenever I do GrubHub, I'm part of the free because like when you do GrubHub, you log on to Amazon, like your Amazon account, and that's how you get the free delivery.
Right now through the GrubHub, you can get GrubHub Plus, or you can get GrubHub Plus in Amazon. So they even go as far as to say that what you'll see in the Amazon app is going to be the GrubHub app. In fact, it makes the comparison to what happened with Instacart and Uber Eats.
I was just about to say that.
Like how Instacart is allowing you to order food through Uber Eats, and it's going to look like Uber Eats portal. Same thing you can now order through GrubHub, or you can order through Amazon and pay $0 delivery fee, $5 back on 5% back on pickup orders. And that's that should speak volumes right there, because that 5% means that's my guess on what they're upcharging on average items. See, because if they're willing to give that back to you, that means if you're going into the restaurant.
That doesn't sound like a lot though, right? Like whenever I feel like any of these apps, they charge like 20 to 30% more. To me, 5% is nothing.
Well, this is 5%. This is 5% on the food you're ordering.
Yeah, but is that 5%? Oh,
I mean, it's still not a ton. No, I mean, I'm just saying these are steps in the right direction. We've talked about how, like like how when Amazon starts doing grocery delivery, might not be month 1, 2, or 3, but eventually they have a bigger database than DoorDash, Uber, Lyft, all of them put together. If every gig app out there put their databases together, Amazon's is bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, if all the governments put their databases together, Amazon's is bigger. So,
the IRS.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. I'm being honest. I don't know that globally there's anything bigger than Amazon for a database.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's some illegal weird thing that somebody's been collecting for, I don't even know how that'd be possible. I mean, it's just not.
I'm surprised. I don't know. I guess when I think of GrubHub, I think of them as still like the third wheel, the third app. Like I feel like they should have, because of their Amazon connection. Like I feel like over the past 2 years, they should have grown bigger than what they are. Is it just me? Like I don't see the partnership benefiting from GrubHub.
You know what I think? Go back to before the pandemic. GrubHub was the only one that was transparent up front, showed you everything that you needed, and it was doing better than all of the other Postmates, Uber Eats, DoorDash. It was doing better than all of them. I mean, I just think that they're kind of the transparent one that maybe they're going to get sucked into this whole, because I mean, they're starting it at a $9.99 value for a year's worth of this service, and maybe it'll get tied in with the new grocery service. I mean, one of the articles we'll get to tonight
for a year and it included your grocery service. Like that's a pretty amazing deal. I have.
Well, no, we already know the other one will be $99. I'm just wondering, will that $99 maybe include GrubHub Plus now too?
Oh, I don't know.
So you don't have to pay for that separate.
I'm like $9.99. That's a deal. Sign me up. I'll get all my groceries from Amazon from here on because $9.99.
Right, because and that fee, right, $9.99 a month or $99.99 a year. That's how Amazon works a lot of things. But that for for their, I don't think it's called Fresh Plus anymore, but whatever it was called that only got you Whole Foods, now gets you all of your grocery stores, but it also gives you in-store pricing. They are the only app using in-store grocery pricing other than grocery stores themselves. And if you order 30, so if you have that $99 a year, as long as you order $35 worth of in-store priced groceries, they are delivered for free within an hour.
35.
That's gonna be hard. That's gonna be hard to compete with.
Well, 35 to me is the going rate. Like Walmart's 35, Shipt I think is 35, if I'm not mistaken. There's a lot of them that the minimum is 35. Even Instacart, in order to
but none
start
of those give you in-store pricing.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying 35 is the normal like base.
Right.
goal.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
but this is unlimited free delivery for the whole year by paying $99. Anytime you need groceries. I guess my point with the 35, even if it is across the board, is I don't want to spend it on Instacart when it's going to get me 70% of the groceries I'll get by going through Amazon.
Who's doing the shopping for Amazon then to do all these orders?
Isn't it the Flex drivers who do the? Kim and I wouldn't know because we've been on the
I don't know.
Flex
I've
waiting
heard
list
the
for
wait list is
3,000
so darn
years.
long.
It's like the dinosaurs. Like,
We don't have it.
My
but I
daughter will
think
be in high
I think
school
it's
before
Amazon
that.
Flex that we're doing the Amazon Fresh.
But aren't they just grocery pickup? Like they don't go shopping. Amazon Fresh people, they just go to pick it up.
Yeah, they don't shop.
The
don't shop.
Krogers and King Supers and Safeways by me, they do free pickup of groceries if you just do it through the app, and they do it for you in the store.
Right, but
Could it be
that's
that
what
it's the employees that do the
Maybe.
picking?
Why not? These grocery stores need the business. I mean, it's just an order coming in like it would be from you or you or you or I don't know. You know, maybe the move is to eventually not ever let us in to see our own groceries again. But I want to pick my vegetables. Well, you don't do that anymore. So.
It'd be interesting. They are going forward with the Amazon Fresh markets in New Jersey. So they should be actually opening up like in the next couple of weeks. So I'm really actually excited to go into one to see it.
And they've been closing them too around the country.
Yeah.
Well, it won't matter if it's Amazon Fresh now. Now you can get it from Kroger or
No, but the actual supermarkets, Amazon Fresh supermarkets are opening in New Jersey in the next, like, I would say a month or two. Like they're opening.
Tom's right. They have been closing a lot too. I don't think that it was weird. The tech always kept screwing up. I remember when they tried it first in Seattle, and it was like, just take your groceries and roll them on out. And then they were having to like check all these grocery baskets because they were all wrong.
Right.
Like, wait, we didn't get everything. They're like, dude, this is not convenient.
Wow.
Like, you know, it's like,
that's actually a really good point. What Scrabble just said.
Oops.
Oh,
I got it. I'm not sure grocery stores could handle the volume with their employees. Yeah, I mean, I guess the deal becomes: do you want to? If I own a grocery store, do I want to hire one person to handle Amazon orders, or do I want to let my neighboring grocery store have it?
yeah, they would have to hire
Because
someone.
I might want that volume and say, you know what, it's worth an employee to me.
Yeah.
For sure, if it's enough
But
volume.
you might think it's not. You might think it's worth the employee, but the corporate office might have something else to say because they might take that one employee that's needed in the meat department and put them over in. Now you're one less person because they're not going to give you additional payroll. You have to take one person from one place to replace it to another. I know how these things
Right,
work.
but it's not. But it's not. They're not dealing with Cracker Jacks here. They're dealing with Amazon.
Companies don't care. Payroll is the most controllable expense in any company. So they don't care. It's all about dollars and cents. So they're not going to keep adding on payroll because they already have a budget set. They're going to take from one place and put it in another, and then another place is going to suffer.
So one of the people I picked up this week is one of the shoppers at one of the major grocery stores here in Houston. And I asked her what she thought of her job, and she's been doing it 3 years. She absolutely loves every minute of it. I said, well, what makes it so great? She said, because in our department, I'm my own boss. Nobody tells me what I get my order, they hand it to me, I go find it all, I get it all put together, I take it out to the car. Her boss and her talk to me once a day, as opposed, she said, to any other job in the store where go put the price on the peas and go do this and go do that and go do, and really they have a lot of autonomy to do what they need to do. If she gets stuck and needs help, she can get help. But other than that, she just spends the day doing her thing and nobody's hanging over her. And she loved it. She just thought it was a great job. And she makes a lot in tips too, even though they say you don't have to tip them. She does.
I was going to say too, like, here's part of the thing too. Like, look, if you work for Kroger or wherever, and you have like a rolling cart and 4 bins, you can be loading 4 offers, and you know that store better than anybody.
Yep.
So you know where everything is. Like, okay, I got 4 orders, and on this aisle, I need 3 of the bins need this and it. You're going to do it a lot quicker than anybody else.
Yep.
So do they want a bunch of shoppers from various apps in there screwing around, getting in people's way, leaving carts unattended, going and getting something they forgot? And I see this all the time, is why I'm pointing it out. I'm not saying that the people aren't efficient or don't know how to do their job. I'm just saying they are running around. I see them a lot. Do they want that, or would they rather have a more efficiently run system where Amazon is feeding them more business?
Yeah. Now, the Amazon thing, I think it'll end up being a win-win for a lot of things.
And maybe it won't be the Flex drivers. I see Thomas making a comment about Flex is run by bots. Kim and I wouldn't know. Literally, I think we're in the same boat. I think it's like within a month of each other, we both have been on the waiting list. I don't even know the last time I checked or how you checked.
I signed up under 3 different emails, and all 3 on the wait list.
They're like all coming back. They're like, we know this is you, Kim. You're on the list. Shut up.
I'm like, does anybody know anybody in Amazon? I even did. It's funny though. This is how desperate I was. I'm not desperate, but I really, when I got on Amazon, I actually did a catering order to an Amazon warehouse, and I actually spoke to the manager of the warehouse, and I said, dude, I've been on the wait list for Amazon Flex for like years. And he's just like, yeah, that's not my department. I tried.
That's a good try.
I thought maybe he can point me to somebody or like get me a phone number. Yeah, no, shut down.
Yeah. Moving into more, I guess, of grocery space. Financial Times reported on, what was the 29th? Yesterday. Shares of the 4 biggest publicly traded US and European delivery apps. Oddly, Uber Eats is not on this, and it's US and European. We'll roll with it. DoorDash, Delivery Hero, Just Eat Takeaway, and Deliveroo. During the pandemic, all were doing well. The companies have all admitted, including DoorDash, that the volume is dramatically down. Dramatically. Their combined annual operating losses have reached $20.3 billion.
What?
I mean, that's not, I guess what I'm saying is now in this article, it now goes on to talk about how DoorDash is so looking forward to expanding itself into grocery and into, it keeps mentioning this new thing that I'm sure we might have even mentioned it last week, but if not, I'm sure we've all seen these articles. They're everywhere. Ulta. I'm not real familiar with Ulta, some beauty product, but it's available in 50 states, which
you don't know Ulta? I know you're not. I know you're not a woman, but you don't know Ulta. I feel like everybody knows Ulta.
Is it Maybelline? I don't know.
Oh my god!
It just reminded me of the commercial. Maybe it's Maybelline.
I mean, like I was kidding. I know it's not Maybelline, but I don't know what Ulta is.
Ulta is like the biggest beauty company in like the United States. That's all. It's bigger than Sephora.
So it's like a big deal.
Even I know Ulta.
Yes.
But this is like what they're. But this is what they're like. This is what they're trying to cash in on. And I'm thinking, see, the problem is that like you guys have been food delivery with the food delivery drying up so hard. It's hard to see like How are you going to, it's like, hey, we're just going to go step on the toes of some other apps. Well, those other apps have already paired up with other people, or they're stepping on the toes of others already. It's like, I feel like it's like Lyft and how they're like last to the card game, or they, you know, fall asleep like at the big hand or so. I don't know. It's like they just missed like we used to talk about it on Driver Nation all the time. That you know, like why did Lyft never even start food delivery during the pandemic? It's like the weirdest thing.
Right. Absolutely.
Every driver didn't have any rides at all for 6 months, but they were like talking about it. And then a year later they talked about, well, we added this one thing, and Tom and I looked into it, and it was just such a joke.
Oh, I remember that now.
It was like, I was like, I didn't even know they ever had it, but they had something.
Yeah.
It was just that sad. Nobody ever used it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess that's what I'm going at. Is DoorDash going to go out of business? No, but I mean, there's, you know, there was an independent study done, consumer interest in an everyday app. This was conducted by Payments. Found that 35% of Americans have a strong desire for an everyday app. 69% say they'd want to purchase groceries, and 65% say they want to purchase from restaurants. That's down from 85% last year.
Wow.
So you got 20% less people even wanting to use the apps. And it goes down to a myriad of reasons, the cost, this and that. Pretty much the cost keeps coming up time and time. Everybody, the weirdest thing is everybody's now noticing the cost.
Where have they been?
I know, but I mean, like the consumers, I mean,
Land.
like people have said to me, like, well, maybe the people that, you know, make more than you do or whatever. I'm like, all those people are tightening their strings too. Look at, everybody lives within a budget. Just because you make more than me doesn't mean you're not immune to being ripped off.
No.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, so when you think about it, when we went through the pandemic, people really had no choice then to order food or do delivery service. So money was no like object, right? Like, oh, you want to pay this? Go right ahead. I need food. You want pay? I'll pay whatever you want to pay because I literally need this. And now we're out of it where people like you don't need it anymore. It's a convenience. So people have to outweigh convenience or money. Like that's kind of what they weigh. Some people say, F it, I'm gonna order because that's what I want to do and I'm lazy and I don't want to go out. And then you have other people are going, what the heck am I doing? I'm not spending that money. So I think people are just like waking up like it's not a free for all anymore. Like we're back to the way society was.
Yeah.
Well, also, don't forget, like when it was pandemic, you weren't going out. So the fact that you weren't going out, you weren't spending randomly. Because just think about it. You leave the house to like go one place, you end up maybe at a coffee shop, or you end up buying like this, or you end up buying that. So your money just goes. Whereas now,
right, a bunch of Alta.
Exactly. Whereas now people are out. So it's not like they're just home and the money is just going to essentials and food, like food delivery. Now it's going to all the other random stuff. So exactly as you said, they're tightening their spending.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. Look, you could have two people in a household who between them make $500,000. They still notice that they're now paying 80% more for food delivery.
Yep.
And then let's go to the grocery apps. I mean, like, first of all, if you go to the grocery store and you haven't been in a while, well, you're going to have a big wake up call first of all.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for those of you that, I don't know how you would avoid the grocery store, but for those of you that do and have a significant other or something, and maybe you guys aren't ever syncing up on that, by the way, groceries are through the roof. So if you go to the grocery store just to buy groceries, they're more expensive. So what does that mean? They are with the markup and the new fees and this and that. I mean, by the time you're done with an Instacart order, I wouldn't be surprised if you're just like, I'm just going to cancel this and go get it myself.
Well, the scary thing is, right? And Cheyenne, you'll hopefully agree with this. The more healthier you eat, the more expensive your groceries are. Yep. So it's not like, it's almost like America. It's like, and probably Canada, it's a no-win situation. It's either you're on a budget and you eat cheaper, but you're eating like crap, or you eat really healthy, which is what you're supposed to do, but your food bill is astronomical. So you're like, you're caught as a family trying to find that balance of healthy and affordable. And do they actually come together in the grocery world?
And so tying this back to what we were saying earlier, this has been the problem with Fresh Market from Amazon, is that they put a lot of their stores closer to the inner city as opposed to out in suburbia. Okay. In the inner city where money is even tighter, Fresh Market costs more. It just does, because it's all fresh and it's good stuff and it's good for you and all that. Yeah. So your $200 isn't going to go near as far at Fresh Market as it is at the Kroger's out in suburban land.
But it's not going to go far at the Kroger either, though. Let's be clear.
No, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that. So people go into Fresh Market, they're driving a little bit further to go to the grocery store where they can get, another $20 worth of groceries for their $200, even though it's not as fresh.
It's true.
Yeah,
that's hurt them a lot.
Yeah, there's another story here. We don't need to go through this whole part of it, but right here it's talking about where DoorDash is analytically for the stock market, because it took some major crashes over the past 2 weeks. It's been propped twice since early April, and now there's some serious charts out showing this just absolute cliff dive. And at the very bottom it says it's in thestreet.com. It says bottom line strategy, and it says, I just read an online story that Amazon was adding GrubHub food delivery to its website and app in the US. Also that it will be doing grocery delivery at cost. I have no idea if this alliance will hurt Dash, but these were just there. There's a ton in here that is talking about why Dash is hurting and why people will not be buying DoorDash stock anymore, at least for a while. Because right now they're in one of those Uber moments where it's like, what do you do again? And they're like, well, we deliver food. Okay, yeah. You've been doing that since the pandemic. It didn't make money then, which it should have made a ton. It doesn't make money now. What else are you doing? Like it's time to shut up or pay the investors, I guess is what I'm saying. Like they're getting wise to this crap. And when you see these hard sells, it's not just low volume trading. These are on high volume days. It's just getting weak. I remember when a couple of people had said, this is going to hit $500 a share. Really? I don't think it ever got up that high. And I see the highest it was it kind of peaked back in April at about $140 a share. And as of May 29th, it's at 111. That's a big dive. But I guess a lot of people had seen it coming, and everybody's getting their money out of there. I think it's, to be honest, I will be honest. I don't think many of us are invested that heavily in DoorDash, so I'm not going to worry about this here. But as long as you're not to a Dasher, this should be good, because the more leveling out of a real value of this does actually help everybody. Like for us drivers, everything like that, because when it takes on more of a real value, they have to start worrying about overturn, even though we're independent contractors and it's not having to pay unemployment insurance. They still have to worry about poor service. They have to actually start caring a little bit about the business as it starts nosediving. Because again, it's not going to be out of business. It's a publicly traded company at $110 a share, even though it's just taking a beating. It's not going out of business. It's just not doing good.
Yeah.
I guess that's the bottom way I'd put it. It's just not doing good. And I guess, it shouldn't surprise anybody, or it doesn't surprise me. Maybe it does surprise some.
No.
But, okay, we got a couple things left. I wanted to go through this because I think this is just crazy, scary, what I learned in this article. So this article talks about some things that we've talked about with the migrant issues and things like that, but it goes even deeper. And it says how Uber, how basically made Meta's Facebook. I love how they tag Meta before Facebook so that they can blame it on Meta's Facebook. You guys are still Facebook. You're taking the hit for this one. sick of this crap. You know, like Meta was a joke. Don't put it in front of everything so you can get out of some things. But on there is a thing that's becoming very well known as the black market of Meta is what it is. And it's the best way to get fake IDs and other things you need done. It says that you can get Uber, DoorDash, Instacart accounts. And we're going to learn a couple things here. During the investigation into how illegals are working for food delivery services, it was discovered that multiple Facebook pages with digital flyers advertising the activation or rental of accounts for Uber Eats, DoorDash, Instacart, alongside a WhatsApp app number for interested parties to reach out. So one Facebook page was titled, and by the way, if you want, it's actually telling you, but don't do this, people. But if you want to get a black market account, it says to write rent account for DoorDash in Spanish in Meta, not in English, and you'll see a bunch come up.
Well, you can just go into Facebook Market. Anybody can go into Facebook Market. You just search DoorDash accounts, and it just like pops up nonstop.
Well, but here's where things get a little scary, though. Check this out. So, when asked how much she was renting the account for, this was a post in there, and somebody following up with it. That's when the person gets in touch with you via phone, real quick, and they tear down the thing. In Queens, New York, there is now a location to go do this in public.
Oh my goodness.
Where
like
people are where people are set up for the whole day. And you just go in with like an order number and you claim it from there.
That is crazy.
This is getting so ridiculous, you guys. It says, so it goes on to say that
is there like a dealer? Like, yeah, that's what I feel like this is like it's going wrong. Like,
well, hold on, because they do talk about they can get you on human smuggling, they can get you coming into here. We know that the coyote thing exists, but on the human smuggling, you can come in with that for certain amounts of money through these same groups. So on the pages, the person also said that Uber accounts typically run more because they need a social security number or driver's license. So because of that, it's actual people's information. So it's Kim, it's your information that's being sold. It's not some blanket account. And this is how people are getting taxed. So like somebody will go work as Kim and will get a free, or they'll pay for it. But here's what we're going to get to. They're going to get an ID of yours if they want it, a social security card, a DoorDash account, and if you need it, they have services to get you to smuggle you in and out of the country or into the country.
Why isn't the government regulating this? I'm just curious, right?
And this is Savannah Hernandez. You can find her on Twitter, you guys. She's at SAV_says_. Go check out some of her postings. She has some videos up of like busting on these IDs, because I got to read that part at least. So after crossing the border, many illegal immigrants will destroy or dispose of any form of identification they have. But finding a fake ID is as simple as searching the words driver's license in Spanish on Facebook. During one search, a page was found titled, it's in Spanish, but its translation was obtain your license to drive from the United States here. And it was a click. Upon scrolling down the page, multiple fake licenses are shown in several videos alongside fake social security cards and even credit scores. So they're selling your credit score too. This is Kim. Here's your new license. Here's your social, and it's all yours. It's all your real stuff. And here's your credit score.
Like, how are they getting all this?
So, but here's the thing. You can watch videos and keep scrolling through this website till you got one that looks like you. And in the videos, they're turning the IDs. And they take it under a black light to show you the authenticity in every state.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, this is as sick as it comes.
And it actually said, I saw quickly in the article that they said that the Uber accounts are more expensive because Uber is less likely to shut you down, whereas DoorDash and Instacart would like deactivate your account. So they sell the Uber ones more expensive.
Right.
That's
Well, also when they
crazy.
said social security, I was like, do you not? I had to remember. Do you not have to put in a social for DoorDash?
Well, we do. We have to put in the social for everything now.
But I'm trying to remember because they're making it sound like that's only with that. But yeah, I mean, this is how people are getting it, guys. And not only are they getting fake DoorDash accounts like we had worried about and we know about, but they're getting Tim's fake ID, Cheyenne's fake ID, Tom's fake ID, my fake ID, my social security, my they're shown under a black light. I mean, that's really scary. That's hacking. That means what? Hacking every state's DMV? I don't understand what's going on.
That's crazy.
Like, how are you getting my social? How are you getting my ID? How are you? And I mean, like, this goes on forever. And the difference in costs for the packages you want get ridiculous.
That's so crazy.
Let's see. I was reading the comment there. I can't. I don't think I can see it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But they said, and it's also not as expensive as I thought it would be. Like
Yeah.
I really thought that, you know, they would really milk people for this.
I'm trying
But it
to
depends.
see
Like it ranges. So it could be like $1,000, $7,500. But then I think just the simple like get in your info was $500. I saw somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know. The whole thing
buying
is
one
kind of
on the black
sickening to
market
me.
in Queens for
I
upwards of $500.
think it's even crazier, to be honest, that that people are getting all these other things though too. That should scare everybody. Okay.
I'm just really wondering, how are they getting this information?
Oh no. Okay.
That's really what I'm wondering. How are they
yeah, I mean,
this
I think that's what we're all wondering. I thought these were, you know, as we move in technology times, I thought these were all like independent agencies. Like my social security shouldn't tie to my driver's license. You know, because if you can go to one place to hack all my info and get it all from one place, that's a danger. So,
but we all fill out stuff all the time that asks for different information, and it cracks me up when somebody says, "No, I don't want to do this or that because I don't want people to get my information."
It's like 20 years ago. Remember when it was, man, I'm off the grid. Nobody's off the grid, man.
I already got it.
Okay. So anyway, I don't even want to get into it. Obviously, look, I mean, these other services, including Coyote services, papers to work, pricing for some of the full packages are $7,500 per person. That's a license, a social. You get to see video. It will match. It will be real. You will get a credit score. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I mean, all this stuff is. So a few years ago, gosh, 5, 6, 7 years ago, I taught a class at a local church for parents who wanted to know the internet better than their kids, or how their kids were using the internet or something like that. And to start the class, I said, okay, I need somebody who doesn't know me just to walk up here and hand me your driver's license plate information before we get the class started. And so somebody walked up and, you know, it was XYZ 133 or, you know, whatever. And I took that information and I don't know, 5-10 minutes later, we started the class. And about halfway through the class, I said, oh, by the way, Bill, your granddaughter's name is such and such. And she is 7 years old and lives in, you know, such, you know, and told him all about his 7-year-old granddaughter. All stuff that I just picked just by having his driver's license. I said, so don't tell me that you think you can hide your information or whatever. It's all there already.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
All there already.
All I
I
needed
don't know.
was
You might even remember, Tom. I don't know if you remember. I was approached to work with somebody. I ended up not working with them because I needed it to show a lot more what it was really going to do. Cause I almost saw the evil side of it because they wanted me to promote a dash cam that would actually be looking out for, it was a ex-military person that was starting this company, and he wanted to actually look for Amber Alert cars and things like that. And so he had this like database that he was trying to build off people's dash cams of where license plates are at all times. And I was like, this is way too big brotherish for me, man. This is sketchy.
Yeah, that seems a little sketchy.
You know, and he's like, well, it's only used by the police for things like Amber Alerts. I'm like, you know, I'm in my head, I'm thinking, by you saying it's only used by the police for this, I'm going to multiply it by 20 and think that there's at least 25 things that it's used for, and 24 you can't tell me. Like, I just couldn't get past it. I don't know.
That's
but
a little weird.
It is weird.
Are you even allowed legally to do that?
no. But I mean, do you really think that the local police department has a group? So I'm right next to Webster, Texas. Okay, right next to Houston. Let's just take Houston. Do you think there's a group within the Houston Police Department that's tracking down these kinds of crimes?
No.
No.
Of course
Especially especially in today's day and age, because every cop's afraid to do their job.
Yeah.
I mean, not that they're afraid. Cops aren't afraid to do their job. They're afraid to do their job because of legal punishment.
Right. But I'm just saying that the resources aren't there to handle this kind of stuff. They're not there.
Yeah.
And I'm not, again, like Steve was always careful, I'm not encouraging anybody. I'm just saying, no, there's no protection here.
Yeah.
The only protection you have is to watch carefully what's going on in your own life. I like how people, decide not to look at their bank account because they don't want to see what the bad news is.
That's a recipe for disaster.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom's hitting on something exactly. I mean, that does a lot more than all the safety protocols or things you might have put in place that are like safe lock that's supposed to be watching your life. They only guarantee you for up to $1 million. And even that's a fightable thing. They're probably not going to do anything. You're better off, like he's saying, just check things. Just log in every day and check your bank.
All of you, please do just one simple thing. Reboot your phone every day.
I actually do that.
Do that. Reboot your phone every day.
To reset the towers? What's the purpose in this?
There's so much stuff that you collect throughout the day and so many different Wi-Fis that you go in and out of and all. We could do a whole class on this. Okay.
I'll leave my Wi-Fi off on my phone.
Well, it's funny. I usually reboot my phone every day because DoorDash usually stops working at some point. So I'm like, time to reboot my phone.
Tim's like, I thought it was work criteria. I didn't know it was like safety.
No, just from a safety perspective, from a security perspective, rebooting your phone often is a good idea.
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
I guess my part of my thing was like I'm worried about things that are left on your phone that still, even once rebooted, can be reaccessed.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, look at, of course, Gary Middleton weighs in with the credit stuff.
Gary to the rescue.
He's like, I don't want to talk about gig work.
You should
My credit?
do that.
Hold on.
You should do that.
And Gary, you're correct. Two-factor authentication, while I understand total pain in the...
So annoying. Almost worth getting ripped off.
It's totally worth it.
Yeah, but anytime you have that option, take it.
Yeah.
I actually now have it set up for YouTube that I have to do every time I log in and log out. I have to do the 2-step verification just because I work too freaking hard at my channel to have anybody hack into it.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I heard an interesting stat last week before. Most of us have a 4-digit PIN to get in and out of our phones. 80% of Americans It's the same PIN that you use on your ATM card that you use most often.
That's insane.
That makes sense.
It does make sense, but it also
especially
means
when phone technology came out or when that started appearing.
if they crack your phone, they've also got your ATM card PIN too.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when they tell you don't use the same password everywhere, right?
Yeah.
I just use password. Nobody ever gets it.
Well, now we
Password
do.
1, password 2, password 3.
I figure I'm safest that way because nobody would even detect that one anymore. Nobody tries password anymore.
So the way that I do mine is you have to know what book I'm reading at the time. I have a code, okay, and then I'll pick one of the characters out of the book, and using my code and that character name, so it could be Detective Marley. You would have to know that I'm reading that book to know that that's my current. It also makes it easy for if I need to go get a password that I haven't done for a while. I know which books I have in my bookcase that I use for this, and I could go back.
Please tell me you write that all down because I would never remember that.
I was like, how do you remember
I'm
that?
like, I would never remember
Because
that.
I remember which book I'm reading, so it's
Just pick a famous like Saint Thomas or Saint Francis, and then twist in some porn, add a number. Nobody's getting it.
How did we get here?
Like what?
Password 101, people.
What is that? Like your street name and like your first dog or something like that?
Yeah, like that, yeah.
You know those generators that you look at? Oh,
Yeah, has
man.
anybody used a generated password? Yeah, they're always like 20 strings long, and you
They're
would
so
never
annoying
remember.
Yep.
Yeah, okay,
They
that's
really
all.
are
That was
annoying.
me, and I'll never remember that. So here, let me just copy it into a note file, leave it on my phone where somebody can hack.
That's the worst.
So I don't know. I guess the last thing that we got is the gig workers in Seattle, the $20 minimum wage boomerangs. It's pretty much over from what I can tell. Even the dashers are now showing up in force. They're not one group is looking to change the measure and of the what is it called again? The pay up legislation. One is looking to tweak it out. The other is looking to say, let's just kick it under the rug, burn it, and pretend like it never happened. And that's what the drivers want now too. Drivers are claiming, so DoorDash said in just the past 3 months, they are 3,000 orders fewer, 300,000 orders fewer. And the businesses are reporting just in Seattle alone to have lost millions so far this calendar year. And it's all because of this. And yes, they do pass along the $5 charge, but get mad at whatever part of it you want. The bottom line is it didn't work. Nobody is making the $26 that the 2022 pay up regulation was supposed to pay. Nobody's making that because they throttle. Now there isn't the work because the order volumes are down. I mean, big time too. I was looking for a piece on that, but even the drivers don't want it anymore, which is kind of weird because they did. But every single person, the city council members who wanted it, the businesses, and the drivers are all saying, get rid of this crap. It's trash. It doesn't work. And there's even an example of a guy who was doing full-time gig work. Let me see if I can find his numbers because it's really, really sad. So, is it this one? Okay, yeah. So he's talking about, he says, I am unable to pay the rent. There is a 30 to 40% decrease he's talking about in order volume. And he said, there are individuals that I know, and I think he was earlier referring to a 3 to 4 hour working shift on these platforms. There are individuals I know, he's talking about Seattle area, who earn $12 a day.
Whoa.
How's that minimum wage working out? And that's not even
$1
claimable because you
a
didn't even work an
day.
active hour. You got an active 20 minutes out of your 3 hours.
That's crazy.
How do
I'm
people
just saying,
survive?
it's one of those we got to be careful what we wish for. I mean, I hate to say it, but I guess we can kind of end it with something at least that equals it out. Because too often I think we always are saying, look at how bad these apps are. And they are. But I guess I would question anybody. Okay, well, find me an extremely ethical Fortune 500 CEO who cares about the environment and humanity. Doesn't have to be gig space. Any business at all that's Fortune 500. Find me a CEO that cares about those two things. Because we rag on all these CEOs, but really anybody in Fortune 500, pretty much, that's what they do. I guess I'm pointing out we're not dealing with anything abnormal. This is normal for CEO behavior. We just see it in a very different light because this is what we do. We all work this space. But I mean, it's just
that
really
same article is talking about the effect on the local businesses as well.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying.
Which
The
is
businesses
part
have
that's
had it.
really sad.
Yeah. I mean, they were doing the year-over-year projection for the rest of the year and what they'll be down. And it's crazy. And that's just Seattle.
Yep.
It's around the whole state of Washington, but that's just Seattle. This is all just based in Seattle, how many millions they're losing. And they got all the businesses showing up going, no, this doesn't work for us. So that's gone. I don't know why Derek just put Patagonia in all caps. Is it trivia night? What's going on?
Oh, but we need to do trivia night again sometime soon.
Brandon, you too. And by the way, guys, as we wrap it up here, always remember sometimes we forget to plug Brandon, but he always goes live right now. Probably went live like 2 minutes ago. Dashing Grandpa, go over to his channel, show some love. I always go over there and chill out after this since we talk about heavy things over there, and he's always so chill and calm. But yeah, I mean, see here. Fortune 5. Oh, Patagonia. Okay. Oh, you're saying Patagonia's CEO? Yeah, you know what? If Patagonia is a top Fortune, I would give you that, Derek. Maybe. And I would still have to look into it, though. Again, I was saying the CEO. So is the CEO truly that way, or is he about all the money? Because it's very hard. I mean, like if you just named one, I don't see anybody else naming another one.
Thomas.
Hell, for that point, name a CEO who's ethical and about humanity that doesn't have to be that's a publicly traded company. We should be coming up with dozens by the minute here. And all sitting here scratching our brains to find one or two.
Thomas said Bob Iger for Disney.
Disney?
Yeah, I don't know that I wouldn't challenge a Disney one. Not that I have anything like I know Kim loves Disney. I know a lot of people love Disney, but I don't know that they're ethical. Is Disney ethical?
Yeah. And I know a few people that work for Disney. It's an interesting
I guess
company.
it's not what it used to be. That's an improvement.
No, it's not. It's a step in the right direction.
Steve, can I share something off topic?
Yeah, go.
Can you share that?
What is that? I can't even see what that says.
Yeah, that's tiny.
Houston police are
Alligator attack?
An alligator attack after a woman was found dead near Horsepen Bayou in Clear Lake. Police said the victim's husband reported her missing and that she went for a walk around 7:30 p.m. on Monday and never returned. They found an alligator with her parts in her, basically. And the wild thing about this story is it's 2 blocks from my house.
No.
2 blocks. 2 blocks.
So are we guessing that this really was all an accident, or did he kick her into the weeds?
This is the question. It finishes with anyone with information on this case is asked to contact the HPD Homicide Division.
Well, of course it's a homicide. They're just trying to figure out if it's a homicide by alligator or homicide by
But
somebody.
wouldn't you just go drain that? Wouldn't you go find the gator and cut it open?
But
They
did.
found the gator,
Found the gator.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So, I mean, again,
but they're wondering, like, did the gator
give
do
her
that, or
torture?
did someone,
Right.
Or
help-
maybe the
help out
husband
the
fed
gator?
her to the gator.
Exactly.
That's what I mean. They were taking a walk, and he just said, "Oops."
Yeah.
Did she just renew her insurance last week or something?
You should take a picture of that gator.
Or she was already dead and fed it to the gator.
Yeah, I don't know.
The other thing I thought was, I started driving again this week after an extended absence from it. And here's the thing I found that was most shocking. I never, ever get a break. The idea that we are oversaturated in Houston with too many drivers is a lie.
For rideshare, I think a lot of markets that might be the case.
I never ever get a break. The parking lot at the TNC parking lot at the airport today, empty. Before I could even drop off my passenger, I had people to go pick up downstairs. I mean, I never. The only time that I didn't get somebody hounding me to come pick them up before I finished the next ride was when I set myself to head for home because I was an hour and a half away and I wanted to get here for this on time. That was the only, and even then, I still had to do 4 or 5 pickups on the way home.
So, are you getting upfront pay, or is it still metriced?
Metric.
I mean, like, are you seeing the full details? Like many because a lot of markets have it now.
I mean, they give me what they think it's going to be, but it's not that. Sometimes it's more. Sometimes
their transparency isn't that transparent.
Yeah, sometimes more, sometimes less. I mean, it gives me an idea. Okay, this is a $10 ride versus a $100 ride. Okay. I find the other thing I find with Uber right now, and I know some of you haven't done Uber for a long time, but they have this trip radar thing. What a piece of crap that is!
We could have told you. I was like, we could have told you that.
Oh yeah.
How do
I don't even.
I
think it's supposed to mean, hey, all of you who feel like you never get any rides, there's a awful pool of them right here.
It's awful.
I think that's its direct translation.
Yeah, that pinging that they do with that, it's going to ring in my head for the rest of the night. Hate it. Hate it.
It's the worst.
It is the worst.
I don't know why they thought it was, but you know what? People take it. Like it's whatever.
I don't touch it.
I hear it and I ignore it. I don't even
look.
I received one good order on Trip Radar.
I was on our Autobahn. We have a toll road that the cops are never on. And so I was on the Autobahn going 85 on the way home this afternoon, and that thing was going off literally every minute or two.
Wow. But with all horrible orders.
Interesting. Oh, I don't know. I'm going 85. I don't have time to look at it. I'm not going to. Well, let's see. What do we got going on here? Radar. Well, okay. I can't do that. You got to drive.
Well, I mean, when it says $3 and some odd change, that should just be like, nope. Don't even care if you're crossing the road.
I don't even look at it. It's going off, and I'm going, oh my God, that guy's going to run over me. I'm only going 85, and he's going 115. So.
Yeah, so I mean, Bubba Sue said this. I was thinking it's where customers' offers go to die.
It's so true.
Like Trip Radar is like the last stand for an offer.
It's awful.
But I swear
Nobody wants this one.
sometimes-
Are you sure? Are you sure? It's
I
horrible.
swear Uber though sometimes puts good offers in Trip Radar just to test if drivers are paying attention.
Yeah.
And then when they do that, they say you're not a match. And then it goes back to whatever driver they want to.
Yeah.
They just want to know that you're in there pressing it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at these. Okay, yeah, that's what we just want to make sure people are looking at them. These horrible offers.
Exactly.
Yeah, I messed with it one time today while I was trying to drive. No, not, should pop up on my screen. I'll look at it. I'll decide whether or not I want to take the next one.
Did you think it was like priority rides?
I didn't know what it was at first.
That's why I'm actually asking. Like, did you think, oh, Trip Radar, what's this? Is this the better rides or something?
No.
When you first saw it,
I knew it couldn't be that easy.
No.
It's funny when it first came out, it actually showed you with like an eye how many drivers were
people were-
actually looking at
Yes.
it. They took that away, so you don't even know anymore. Was it like sent
it's
to
all
2
right.
people, 4 people, 5 people, just you? Like, you're sneaky.
Yeah, I think Harry did a video this week on it that I haven't watched yet about Uber's going to get rid of it, or Uber drivers are demanding to get rid of it, or something. I didn't pay attention to it because at the time I didn't know what it was. Didn't pay it,
It's been around for almost 2 years now. I honestly, I don't think it's going anywhere. That's my opinion.
and everybody that one seems to be across the board. We agree. Nobody disagrees with that one.
Yeah.
Anybody in any market will say Trip Radar sucks. Don't take it.
Well, I can tell you, doesn't matter day or night, time of day, where I am in town, anything, a constant. That thing's always going off. No excuse if you're a driver. You cannot, and I just can't stress it out. You cannot say that you can't make $100 a day easily in the Houston market. Easy.
Mm-hmm.
So, just basically just put your finger out the window and you get a ride.
Yeah, I don't think rideshare I don't think rideshare drivers are as oversaturated at all like the other apps, but I do think that they've abused the pay during all these years so bad that it's still not up to the point it should be. So
yeah,
I think that's why a lot of drivers don't come back to it yet.
2 years ago, I could have sat there for 4 hours and never got the ride.
Really?
Now it's like, oh my God, yeah, it was horrible.
Maybe they're just like courting you again to get you to fall in love with the app. They're dancing with
Maybe
you.
you're under a honeymoon phase all over again.
I don't think so.
Who does that? Or those
No,
things-
I mean, I do hear from people. I hear from people who have said they would never do rideshare. And I've heard from them saying that they are now doing rideshare. And I know some of them are doing better with that than they were doing with other things. So.
See, and I'll never do food delivery.
Right.
Really?
Never.
To me, I feel like that's so much more easier than rideshare. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah.
Number one reason I won't do it is because of the number of apartments that we have here and how poorly labeled they are. It's
Apartments are time suckers.
go to building 6, apartment 318, which there's 18 buildings in here.
Mm-hmm.
Which one's number 6? None of them are labeled.
It should always be just leave it at wherever the mailbox system is. Sorry. Come
Like
get
a
your
$8
crap,
But
man.
it's not
I'm
that.
not walking around your area.
The other day I was talking to a friend of mine who he got a food delivery to the towers, which is what it sounds like, a big tower here in my area. And the elevator was broken.
Oh no.
And this was like a huge delivery of stuff. Huge. It'd take him 2 efforts out of his car. And I told him that I would have called a woman and said, look, come down. If you want your food, come on down and get it. And he negotiated with her that she'd give him a $10 tip if he brought it up 6 flights of stairs. I'm like,
How many? 6?
6 flights for $10, 2 trips. I'm like, dude, I wouldn't have done it for less than 50. I'm sorry, not a chance.
You just go up. You go up like 10 stairs, and you're like, I'm 10 stairs up. Like, give me $5, I'll go up another 10 stairs.
Yeah.
Let's just keep working this here.
Or how about $5 I'll meet you halfway?
Here's the other thing too I was going to mention. I think anybody who does rideshare who doesn't have precise location set on their phone has to pay double.
Why?
Because you end up at the wrong address all the time because they don't have precise location set.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
And
Now,
then you're just waiting for that.
What's interesting is that if you let the directions just guide you, they'll take you to the right place, but the address may or may not be the address that it says you're going to. But precise location, people don't set it, and you can be a block away, and it says you're there.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain apartment complexes I've delivered to that I'm just always horrified because no matter how many times, it's not even like I've been there 5 times and like, okay, I know it now. I still don't know it. They like scare me with the way, because the buildings don't even have numbers.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I don't even know where I am, man. And it's like saying it's this building, but it says it's building 6, and somebody will come out the building, and I'm like, finally, somebody opened the door, and they're like, this is building 2. Which one are you looking for? 6. 6 is on the other side of the road, buddy. Like,
yeah, exactly.
No.
Not doing it. Doing it.
Yeah, guys, that's it for this week. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for joining us last week as well. But thank you for being here. That's a wrap. Thank you to the panelists. Thank you, everybody in the live chat or on the replays. See you back here next week. Until then, be safe, earn smart, and don't be dick.
She was just a baby. Ain't no way